So this is awkward. Guys, today I went ahead and caved, okay? There's my favorite phone of all time is the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. My most favorite phone I've ever owned in my life. Because of that, favorite candy bar cell phone I will say. Surface Zero 1 is probably my favorite cell phone I've ever owned, but Note 20 Ultra, right? And when I had it back in the day, I did sell it because I wanted to get into affordable phones, right? So I ended up buying it off eBay. And I bought off eBay on one of those listings where it just shows you like a picture of the image of what it is. And that's pretty much that. They don't really go in depth when it comes to the actual thing. You know, it's just kind of like a mass listing. And it says like 1,000 people bought this item. And yeah, all that kind of good stuff, right? So I bought it from that for $400. The seller said this was brand new, no problems at all. Again, seller had great feedback. And I was always kind of skeptical whenever you see that type of listings when it says like, brand new 5G, whatever. Because it's like, well, what if the phone is fake? Well, newsflash, this phone is in fact fake. And you can see on the outside, the picture of the phone stylus as actually bronze. Now, you might think, well, did you get a bronze phone? No, I did not. I did not get a bronze phone at all. I got myself a white phone, but yet this is not the correct box because this phone, and you're going to see later, actually has the serial number of the bronze phone. So they took the bronze phone, and in the manuals, it actually says from Verizon, it's supposed to be an unlocked phone. They took the one from Verizon, took it out, I guess probably got rid of that phone, maybe sold that phone, and then they went ahead and placed this phone inside of this box, sealed it up, and sold it. Now, real quickly, you can tell this is a fake phone. Number one, you're going to see later in this video, is the bezels. The bezels are awful, and I can't stress enough how awful they are. Number two, the S Pen has zero markings on it at all. There is no Samsung markings at all on the S Pen, and it is just awful. Again, I'm going to say this many times in this video, awful. Another thing is, I did run a device test, and you're going to see a Geekbench part in this video, but I ran all the CPU tests and everything. It does actually have a Snapdragon 8, I think it's an 860 processor, 865 plus processor. It also does have 10 gigabytes of RAM, not 12, but still pretty close to what the actual number is. Face ID works perfectly. Fingerprint sensor works perfectly. That's something that these fakes usually cannot get correct. The cameras, for the most part, look good and fine. They look like they were supposed to be the correct cameras, which I believe on this phone you had a 50 megapixel camera and you had two 12s. So again, across the board, everything else looks and acts exactly the way it's supposed to. And actually on the box here, it actually says that this is supposed to be a pre-installed SIM inside this phone from Verizon, which again is not correct. Now this phone did come dead out of the box, which is not really that surprising. And the charging cord / cable does look legitimate. And again, like I said, it's like they took a actual bronze phone, and I'm probably saying the color incorrectly, but they took this phone and just took the phone out and kept everything else the same and just put this phone inside and sealed it up. And that's literally what it looks like for this phone. And I can't stress how crazy this fake is because on the surface, in every way possible, this is almost identical to the real thing. And if it wasn't for the bezels, I wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. Again, the bezels are the thing that gives it away extremely quickly. But other than the bezels, there isn't really much at all you're going to tell that is wrong. And right away, you can see the bezels. I mean, it is insanely bad. Especially when you look at a Note 20 Ultra, which is a edge-to-edge display. That's why they have the curved edges. And then you look at this phone and you're like, this is insane. When I first tried to install apps, it wouldn't even install apps correctly. It finally did it after like 30 or 40 minutes, but it took way too long to install apps. Now, I did, again, run every single test on this phone, and for everything and the purpose I found, this is perfectly the correct everything. Like, this is a correct phone. This has all the internals of a regular Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's just like the screen, the bezels are completely off. So again, like I said, I'm not sure. I think this is a fake phone for the said reason that, you know, these are how the fakes look. But it has the internals of a regular phone. Now, how do you test that? Well, you can use Geekbench 1, Geekbench 6, that's one option. And the second option I went with is CPU-Z. CPU-Z is something you can test your actual computer, and you can also test your cell phones, your Android cell phones. It's in the Play Store. It's absolutely free, and it shows you not only how fast your phone is, how quick your phone is, it also shows your CPU cores and all your CPU information. So again, like I said, there's so many different ways you can test these phones to make sure they're legitimate, and this phone for the most part has passed pretty much everything. Now, when it comes to the Geekbench here, as you can see, all the information is correct. This actually did go ahead and mark a little bit lower on single core than it should have. It was 400 less on single core, and in multi-core, it was actually 100 more. So it's just, I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't, because I know there's fake cell phones out there. Trust me, I get that. But this is as close to a legitimate fake cell phone, real cell phone you're going to get. And I am just amazed that they actually figured out a way to do this crap. Because this is, again, like I said, if it wasn't for the bezels, I would be sitting here right now telling you, hey, I just got myself a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And I'd be excited about it. And then the bezels just give it away completely. But again, like I said, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to return this thing because I didn't buy a fake phone. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.